A song that you wrote that really illustrates what a journey it has been and the fact that it's not over yet. And I bet you know the song I'm queuing up for you. Yeah. Everywhere Yet?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that song, and then if you would play it for us.
Sure. I went to Nashville like everybody else, wanting to be famous and, live the dream that I had dreamed all my life, laying there in Oklahoma on my pillow, listening to my transistor radio, listening to WBAP late at night, the Bill Mack all-night road show. I'd hear those people on those stages, and I'd think, I want to do that. And so I went to Nashville, and sure enough, it didn't take that long. I mean, it took a good amount of time, but next thing I knew, I had a record deal on Capitol Records, the same label the Beatles were on at one point. And suddenly, when you get a record deal, they sort of issue you a manager and suddenly I had a band and I had a publicist, and I even had a hairstylist. And thank God, I was about to embark on this thing that I know would have probably taken me about that far and then dropped me off the edge of the world, and I would have been a washed-up has-been at age 28, But the powers that be stuck this big, tall Texan in front of me. His name was Guy Clark, and Guy Clark looked at me and said, "Verlon, man, you don't need a big record deal, and you don't need a band and a bus, and you sure as hell don't need a hairstylist." He said, "You know what you need? All you need is a satchel full of good songs." And he said, "If you got the songs, you can go all over this world and play for little rooms. As long as you can do it, they'll come if you got the songs." And he said, "Come go on the road with me before you get too deep into this big record deal, and I want to show you. I'll prove it to you." And I took him up on it and went out. I was going to go out with him for a couple of weeks, and it lasted about 26 years. But it was because suddenly I saw what Guy was doing was exactly what I really wanted. I just wanted to have a few ears and eyes upon me. It didn't have to be the world didn't have to be watching, just a few people every now and then that listened and cared about what. Anyway, so that first trip, we took off, and we were gone for a month. We went to England and Ireland and Scotland, and then back to New York, and then all the way down the East Coast, and then to Chicago, and then down here to Texas, and then back to Nashville. And when we got back, my wife threw open the door and said, "See, this was before cell phone. You couldn't call home. You'd write a postcard, and then you'd beat the postcard home." So she had no idea. It was a month, and she was like, "Tell me where all you been." And I said, "God, I can't remember." It was just such a blur. And she's the one that said, "You should write this down. You don't want to forget any of this. You're a lucky man living a beautiful dream." And I said, "You're right." And I went in there and started writing on my little yellow legal pad, and this is what came out. From poor David's in Dallas to the Gallatin Palace, the Cactus Cafe, the palms and the birch, the bluebird, the gray eagle, the tin angel, iron horse, and of course the grand old mother church. The station in, exit in, Fruit again, Michigan, Flat Rock and Round Rock and Little Rock Jacks, Dublin to Tullamore, the Down Home and the Troubadour. Long as they want us, we'll keep coming back. You see, we ain't been everywhere, but we're trying to get there. And if you let us tune up, we'll throw down a set. Book us a room, we'll be in your town soon, 'cause we ain't been everywhere yet. Well, there's the Ark and the handlebar, Wolf Trap and the Apple Farm, Pootie's Hill Country and St. Augustine. At the foot of Denali and down on the Swanee, and that night I can't talk about in New Orleans. On Live Freedom Radio, the Birmingham, Zydeco, Reno and Conroe and somewhere in France. A bunkhouse in Brenham and the barns of Vienna and the riding arena at the real South Fork Ranch. You see, we ain't been everywhere, but we're trying to get there. And if you let me tune up, I'll throw down a set. Book me a room, I'll be in your town soon, 'cause I ain't been everywhere yet. Yeah, the old Floribama, songwriter Rama, the Merle and the Strawberry Festivals all. The old Liberty Lunch and the Fireman's Kitchen. And tonight at Music and Conversation with y'all. You see how I did that? This old showbiz trick. Hey, we ain't been everywhere, but we're trying to get there. If you let me tune up, I'm gonna throw down a set. Book me a room, I'll be in your town soon, 'cause I ain't been everywhere. No, you see, I'm still trying to get there. You see, I ain't been everywhere. Yet.